Mayweather vs. Pacquiao, fight of the century, May 2nd around the corner. I've never been more excited for a boxing fight in at least my lifetime, and I'm sure most of the panel's lifetime, except for maybe Ellie Seckback. Ellie, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Rundown. We're very excited to have you on. Longtime boxing enthusiast, you follow the sport, you know people in the industry, you know people within the sport. We are going to get right into this, and we want to at least start off with the training side of things with Mayweather and Pacquiao, because we know there's Mayweather cutting wood, and Pacquiao's fighting in the street, not literally fighting in the street, but showing off obviously his inside speed on the streets of Los Angeles. What takeaways do you have so far from this fight? What are you looking forward to most on May 2nd?
Well, first of all, let me say thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
It's an honor to be here. Here's one thing that I found interesting about this fight. Floyd Mayweather is known for defense, but not for his power. And in this camp right now, like you're watching him chopping, he's working on power.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao is known for being the reckless machine that destroys everything, and he's working on his boxing.
Right.
So both of these guys are working on things that they don't normally do, which is so weird to me because they got to this point by doing what they do right. So they're trying to change up their game to give the fans a big...
It seems almost as if it's like they're taking their most inexperienced parts of their game and they're bringing it into the ring, which is going to cause an unpredictable atmosphere. Do you have any early on predictions for this? Do you think it goes 12 rounds, or do you think there's a chance that Pacquiao puts Mayweather on his ass?
Well, let me say one thing that Floyd told me. Because I said, hey,
That's
you have trouble with Southpaws. He goes, how many of them did I fight? 8. How many of them did I beat? All of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he can struggle, but he wins.
Yeah.
I think the fight goes all 12. I could see both guys winning. It depends who's going to step up that night. They're both winners in my book. When you make 120 million and you make 100 million, there are no losers. Plus, the endorsements, the money, the fame.
Over 500 million already.
So I want to know, because boxing enthusiast, I personally love UK boxing. Being from the UK, a big fan of Cal Frock, I've talked about this before, and I think the UK boxing's on the rise. A lot of people believe that boxing in the US maybe is starting to head downwards. Do you think this fight is going to revive it? Do you think it's going to revive people's knowledge of the sport and everyone just getting behind it like we did in the heyday?
Yeah, it did already.
You think
it happened the day that Mayweather announced the fight.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a boxing fan, a sports fan. Everyone's tuning in.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, people talk about boxing. It never happened before.
Yeah.
Anybody associated with this fight is an instant celebrity. Yeah. So the interest, when they had the press conference in LA, over 700 media members, just for a press conference, for 2 guys.
Yeah.
So yes, it is bringing boxing back. Plus now we have boxing on free TV, on NBC, on CBS, all these things that you never had. But I'm excited because for 6 years I've been bugging the crap out of people. Well, who wins? Mayweather, Pacquiao, Mayweather. And they would tell me, like, stop asking. The fight's never going to happen.
This is one right here.
I am fully guilty of that because I really did believe for so many years, no, this fight wouldn't happen. Especially when Pacquiao came out and said there's got to be a penalty for drug testing. And if he fails a drug test, it's millions of dollars. And I was like, the second that was released, I was like, kiss it goodbye. And then, mark my words, 3 weeks later, I'm sitting there outside with Francis Maxwell saying, well, the fight of the century is coming around the corner. It's going to be breaking records money-wise. It's going to bring boxing back, all of that. Justin, now, young boxing fan yourself as well. Questions? We have the expert here.
Yeah, so Ellie, just like any boxing fan, I wanted this to happen 5-6 years ago. And you talked about how both of them are focusing on the weaknesses in training, but really, whose style do you think is going to hold up best against it? Is it going to be Mayweather being defensive, or is Pacquiao going to give him one to the chin and he's going down?
A lot of boxing experts, people who are trainers, fighters, stars, they all tell me Mayweather's going to win. But you don't know. You don't know if Manny could land. Mayweather fought this guy named Maidana before. Yes. They fought twice. Maidana in the 3rd round of the 2nd fight landed a crazy shot. Mm-hmm. Manny's way faster than Maidana. So will Manny be able to penetrate Floyd's defense? That's the big question, number one. Yeah. The other question is, does Floyd do to Pacquiao what Marquez did? Marquez knocked out Pacquiao. Yeah. So, this is the equation. Marquez knocked out Pacquiao. Mayweather beat Marquez. Yeah, but styles make fights. So it's so many question marks. That's why everybody's so excited about this, because we don't know.
And we've done a clip on this on TYT Sports. We love to cover it. And I was talking about, from a neutral perspective, watching both fighters, I feel that defensive capabilities age better than punching power.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Too,
so do you think that because this fight hasn't happened in the last 5-6 years, when people were seeing Manny Pacquiao at his peak of punching power, do you think that's going to affect it now? Because if that assumption is correct, that defensive capability ages better than power?
No.
No?
Because they're so pumped up for this fight. I went to visit both of them in camp.
Yeah.
They're so into it right now, they could knock out Klitschko. They can knock out someone way bigger than because
Yeah.
they're so into it. And Manny Pacquiao feels that he's representing the entire Philippines, 100 million people.
Yeah.
Mayweather's legacy on the line.
Yeah.
So the adrenaline, the rush, the will to win.
Could that not influence a fight in a negative way? I mean, I'm going to switch sports here, but just look at the Ronda Rousey recent fight. You've got her opponent coming in crazy hyped up, runs straight in and gets knocked out in 11 seconds.
Submitted in 14
submitted
seconds.
in 14 seconds. Could that come into it? Because that could be an interesting factor.
That could be too, but that's more from Pacquiao's side.
Yeah.
If that happens. But I don't think it will happen. I think both of them will be patient. I think the first 4 rounds will let us know how the fight's going to go and where is it going to go. What I will say is that now big stars are coming. Dave Chappelle went to visit Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman went to visit Mayweather. So you're going to see a lot more of that. And on Fight Night, I'm told the celebrities will be sitting in the nosebleeds, which we never see. You go to Lakers,
It just reminds me of the boxers like Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard when celebrities would come visit them at their camps. It's got that kind of hype, that kind of appeal. And of course, it passes the mom test, which is like a joke I like to make, because if your mother knows that Mayweather and Pacquiao are fighting, everybody knows that Mayweather Pacquiao is fighting. The world will be watching. It is. Do you think this is the last great fight in boxing?
No. It's a roller coaster. And every couple of years, there's a new super. There's a guy named Canelo, redhead from Mexico. He's carrying a whole nation behind him. There's always the next superstar around the corner, but it's a roller coaster because it's really high, really low, really high, really low. I will say this before you said about boxing in the United States. Mayweather's the highest paid athlete for the last 3, 4, 5 years on Forbes. So obviously, boxing financially is rewarding. But it does have a very bad image when I go places. Oh, it's terrible, concussions, and all the images of you going to boxing and you'll have damage for the rest of your life. So yes, it does suffer from that. Yeah. But on the other hand, when I go to gyms, they're thriving. Ever since the announcement, every boxing gym I go to is packed.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think it's not as much about, it's more about the weight class. I think the heavyweight division is one that's maybe suffering. I think the most exciting fight we had for us in the UK was David Haye making his realm towards the Klitschko brothers that just seem unpenetrable at the moment. But in the middleweight and lower divisions in the UK, Chris Eubank Jr. is coming up, and me and Jason talk about this all the time. This kid is phenomenal, lightning fast. He's going to be one to watch. So I agree with you on that. I just think that the heavyweight division is one that maybe needs to find something to move.
I don't know if you guys are following this. There's a guy named Shannon Briggs. He was a former. He's going crazy on Instagram. I see his Instagram videos. Let's go, champ. He's hounding Vladimir Klitschko for a fight.
That's what it needs, because self-promotion will bring you into the spotlight. The better you are at self-promoting, the more likely that you're going to get into that ring. Of course, you need skill. You need, obviously, the skill set to be able to handle yourself and win. But Floyd Mayweather, a genius of self-promotion. The second he steps into that ring, he's one of the most professional athletes in the business. And I'm going across all sports. Outside the ring, one thing. Inside the ring, totally different. Ellie, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can we find you? Where can we, Twitter, Facebook, website, where can
YouTube.
YouTube, ES News, one word.
Okay.
Twitter, just my last name, Sekback.
Thanks for watching. As always, you can check out TYT Sports at youtube.com/TYT Sports, the postgame at youtube.com/thepostgame, and their website, thepostgame.com. Ellie's information will all be in the comment section below. Make sure to comment, leave your thoughts. As always, see you next time.